Black Saga Storm. Are we going to beat him down with constructs, or are we going to ad nauseum? Stay tuned to find out. Alright, TonyScapone here. I'm ready to be playing some Black Saga Storm today. I've been playing and brewing so many random-ass belcher lists that I had to pick up something clean, fine-tuned, powerful, and just get after it in a league. I did want to go over a couple of things that I've seen watching a number of other people play the deck. So, two things that I see is you gotta make sure you're utilizing Bobble, meaning 100% if you already have Metalcraft outside of your Bobble, use it. Are there corner case scenarios where it's such a low percentage that you're going to wind up with the card density enough such that you use the cards and ultimately are trying to dodge, say, like discard? Are there spots where you can kind of stockpile a Bobble or two and then wait and go off? Probably not. You know what I mean? Like maybe one turn or something. I'm just trying to think of like some random ass corner case scenario in which you actually don't want to use your Bobble. I mean, you can make, obviously there's the decision as to whether you do it in your main phase to play around stuff like Narset or Spirit of the Labyrinth or whatever that thing is called, or if you just need information, there's a decision there, using it on your turn or on your opponent's turn, but ultimately you want to do one of those two things if you already have Metalcraft, even without the Bobble. And then even then, you need to ask yourself, I'm always asking myself, does the risk of taking myself off of Metalcraft, is it worth it, right? Is the payoff, the potential payoff, how many of those payoffs are there? What's the scenario, right? You might wind up in a scenario where you say, you know what? Okay, not using the Bobble maintains my Metalcraft, but I need to get going here. I need multiple cards to win the game, right? And maintaining Metalcraft for that one mana is not enough. Say a scenario where, okay, I have 2 draws, I need +2 mana, and a tutor. That is a pretty direct example of where you don't want to just hold on to your Bobble to save yourself that 1 mana, right? Because you might wind up drawing into, the lines of diamond that you need, that, okay, it keeps Metalcraft and gives you +3, and boom, now you draw on your tutor, and now your only out was achieved, whereas if you just play this, like, eternally safe Bobble game, not only that, like, we have a lot of Bobbles, right? We have a lot of artifacts. There's a very good chance that you regain Metalcraft, and you could say, well, if you're just using Bobble and then hoping to and being happy about drawing Bobble, then why did you even use the Bobble in the first place? Well, you only get to draw, you have to use a whole turn cycle to get through your Bobble. So if you don't use that Bobble, and now 2 turns from now you draw into another Bobble, well, now you've wasted a whole turn. We got to actually get through them. Most of the time, you just want to be firing these off to get closer to your other cards. It may not be relevant the very next turn. It might be that 4 turns from now, you hit the tutor that, had you not used the Bobble before, would be a turn later, right? Or whatever turn is relevant. You could wind up putting yourself a turn behind on the crucial turn. It's possible. because when you string baubles into baubles, right? So say you have a bauble, you hold it for an extra turn, then you use it, and that draws into a bauble, right? Which you then, oh, I gotta use this because now I'm under pressure. That bauble winds up drawing into another bauble, right? Now on that turn, had you baubled a turn earlier from the start, you'd be that one card past that bauble, and maybe that's the tutor that wins you the game. So, and sometimes we'll lose on the risk, right? Sometimes we'll use bauble, saying, well, statistically, I think I have a good chance of actually spiking something that I need more than this metalcraft, or at the very least, just regain the metalcraft anyway. So I'm going to use the bauble, right? And then you draw into shit. Like, it happens. But I do want to mention that because I do think people are being overly conservative about their baubles and too protective of their metalcraft, okay? And I'm sorry, two other things. One thing, really quick, don't forget that you can copy Saga in your hand. You don't have to go hellbent with this card. You can copy Duresses that are in your hand. You can copy LEDs that are in your hand. Dark Rituals. You can copy to get your second Cabal Ritual. These are plays that we actually make fairly often. This card often copies a card in your hand. If you find yourself not making that play, like at all, especially for Saga, it's a very common play. Get a Mana Source into play, forego turn 1 Saga so that you can play a land and a Chrome Mox and then actually copy your other Saga so that you can go turn 2 and turn 3 Saga, stuff like that. Or even just like Petal, Chrome Mox, Opal, copy your Saga and then play your Saga, right? These are lines that aren't necessarily easy to find unless you have run into I don't know, when you get the reps in, right? Because once you realize it's a line, then it's kind of in the forefront of your head, and you start realizing how often that line is actually accessible and how powerful it really can be. And the third thing, and this is potentially one of the most important things, okay? There are two extremely powerful things that this deck does. If you want to talk more generally, it's Ad Nauseam and Saga, right? But more specifically, what I'm trying to say is turn 1, right? The super busted Ad Nauseam thing is turn 1 discard you plus Ad Naus, right? Similarly, right, the super busted turn 1 Saga thing is play your Saga, right? Having an active Saga turn 2 is huge. And, well, to stay on track with the super busted thing, the super busted thing is play your turn 1 Saga with a discard effect into an active turn 2 Saga, right? Sometimes it's even more busted. Me have like double discard turn 1 Saga, turn 2 active Saga. Plays like play Saga, Chrome Mox, imprint a black card, cast the Duress, play a Bauble, play Opal, cast a Cabal Therapy. You know what I mean? And then next turn you have Chrome Mox, Opal, and Saga. Insane. Super powerful. And another thing about Saga, right, along the same lines, the whole, don't forget about turn 1 Saga, is sometimes your hand isn't doing constructs, but still wants to play Saga first. It is a Lion's Eye Diamond on Suspend that comes off a turn quicker than Lotus Bloom. So don't forget you have a 2-turn Lotus Bloom, well, Lion's Eye Diamond, but it's there. Even if it's not an active Saga, even if it's not helping you cast whatever, even if it's, some matchups forgoing your turn 1 discard, it's rare that you want to do that, but just keep it in mind. You don't necessarily have to have an active Saga, It's okay to imprint your Dark Ritual so that you can discard and play your turn 1 Saga instead of playing your Swamp, playing your discard spell, turn 2 playing your Saga, into your Talisman. That's all fine and good, and it's powerful, but this is why we have Chrome Mox, so that we can open with discard. If you have one discard spell, and it's turn 1, for the love of... I'm an atheist, so for the love of Satan. No, I'm not a Satanist, but just please discard turn 1. This is Legacy, alright? I don't care if you only have one discard spell. I don't care if you have some sort of logical plan to, oh, I can kill them on turn 3 with this discard spell attached to it. Discard your opponent on turn 1. If it's well, it's not 100%, right? There are other lines that could trump that, but don't hold on to it. We have 10 discard spells for a reason, so that we can afford to, even if we only have one, discard them on turn 1. Chalice, Trinisphere, a crucial cantrip, Lion's Eye Diamond, Doomsday. These are spells that you lose to, that your opponent is... These are the decks in the format. Alright, I've gone on a rant. I've yelled. I'm gonna lower my voice. Don't take it personally if this is something you go, oh shit, I did that, and I made a video on it. I'm not perfect. I make these mistakes all the time. It's easy to watch someone else play and see the mistakes. So, this is just as much an exercise for myself and a reminder for myself as it is for you, as we all together explore this still very new deck. So hopefully, like for me, the big thing for me that I constantly forget, or not constantly, but like probably about half the time forget, is to just bobble them before my discard spells so that I can see 8 cards, so I can make an informed decision on my discard spell. I'll even like mention it verbally and then just not do it. Okay, so I'm going to shut my mouth and we're going to play some Black Saga Storm. I'll see you in round 1. Okay, here we are in round 1, and we have a risky one that I'm actually going to keep. It is a dark ritual. Let's see, 1, 2, 5. Yeah, it's a dark ritual away from being bananas. If Saga goes untouched, then we'll just have a win. And there are plenty of good draws here. Alright, it's actually pretty good. We're against blue. Permanent black source would be nice. Redraw is not the worst. And I'm going to deploy Wishclaw because I'm not a coward. I want to use this mana. Not much reason to bobble now. I'm not going to use bobble right now because we just gave them control over what to put on top of their deck. I would rather, assuming they're going to fetch this, see the card that they're choosing to fetch away. Generally speaking, I feel like that's going to give us more information here. So we see a land, which means they have enough lands. So we can probably assume they have at least one more land. It's a good draw. Alright, I'll play city. Well, now next turn, especially if we draw a black source, we can really pop off. I'm sure they at least have a swords. Another saga, interesting. Alright, I'm gonna make another thing, then get opal, and I'm gonna Thoughtseize them. Dress down, damn. It's obnoxious. Alright, double force. I think our best bet is just working through these forces. Main deck dress down, huh? That's actually pretty good. Okay. That is also pretty good. Let's go dress. Take the other force. And now we should be able to kill them. Yeah, let's get Petal. Play Saga. Play Thoughtseize. Take Supreme Verdict. Go IT. Make mana. And cast Ad Nauseam. Alright, we'll stop there. And we got him. Alright, game 2. Blue-Eye Control. We need this. And I want map. That's it. I'll cut Cabal Rituals. I'm sorry, Chrome Mox is pretty bad against Prismatic Ending. Let's go. Sure. They mulligan to 5. Holy crap. Holy moly. Planes go, 4 cards in hand. Saga is pretty good. Slot Seas. No! See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I have no blue mana. I'll take the pending. I wish I knew what the next card was. If only there was a way that I could have seen the top of their deck before discarding them. Oh well. Narset, that's not going to do anything for him. Haywire Might is cute. Literally. Could copy Saga with IT. Or I could just play Wishclaw. Think I'm going to copy. Play out our Haywire Might. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Let's play Saga. Play Wishclaw. That's when they're going to force. I'm going to Brainstorm first. I'm going to force pitching Narset. Or maybe not, if they find another blue source. Okay. Get in for 1. Oh, you OP. Got 3 cards. I know one of them is at least one of these. Play another Saga. Pass it on over. We do have Expedition Map in our deck, so we got Saga number 3 lined up. And they're off it. Well, we spanked them. On to round 2. Okay, here we are in round 2. We are on the draw. Sand has potential. I'm keeping. Land means it plays over the course of 2 turns. LED just makes it absolutely insane. It means we have discard into Adnaz. Dark Ritual. 8. Dark Ritual. I believe also gives us discard into Adnaz. The only thing we don't want to draw is more tutors. Baubles are fine. LEDs are fine. Don't want another Opal, I suppose. Chromox is fine. More discard is not the best, but still fine. Land is fine. So you look at this hand, and it is awkward, right? But when the vast majority of your deck is either a very good draw or at least like an okay draw, you might want to consider keeping, especially on the draw. So that is certainly one of the draws we were talking about. Bobble, LED, Opal. Let's play out Wishclaw. So we'll do a couple of things. 1, put Wishclaw into play, and 2, give us Metalcraft even after having used Bobble. So now I'm going to use Bobble to see what we're up against. I see, okay. They had no turn 1 play. That means they're getting a Dryad Arbor. We probably want to name Glimpse. Like now? They can't turn to us, I don't think, after not having played a 1-drop. Even if I use Opal, 1, 2, 5, 6. Even if I use up an Opal here, we still have an Adnaz next turn, so I'm just going to do it. The card that we would most likely die to here if we were to, I think is Glimpse. I think they can do Heritage Druid bullshit, right? I still think it's Glimpse. Alright, we hit one. They had both, but I think Glimpse is scarier. Like, Heritage could be scarier if they have Natural Order plus, like, Perfect. Okay, that means the Nettle Sentinel on top will go away. Draw from Bobble. We certainly have an Adnaz. The Symbiote, that was their draw. Visionary. Now they can return it, untap Dryad Arbor. Or they could have, and then played one of these. Now they're dead. Oh, they're doing it. Mid-combat so that they can attack. Or not. Alright. I will play it. And play Petal. Now, they seem obvious to get Lion's Eye Diamond here. The only thing about that is it does take an LED out of our deck. If you have enough resources, you want to get Cabal Ritual. Since it's the same amount of mana as LED, but it takes a 2-drop out of your deck. We could just add Naz off the the mana without Wishclaw and just leave Wishclaw. But with no land drop, I don't think I want to do that. I'll just get the extra mana. Natty Tendies should be able to take us home. 2 is the highest in our deck once Tendrils is used. Plenty of mana, plenty of Storm. We're good. A Ritual, Cabal Ritual. Okay. Elves. So I want these. That's about it. Cut some of the discard. Let's go. Don't think we can keep that one. This one's pretty powerful. I will keep. They'll probably have discard. So I'll take LED. Actually makes this kind of awkward. They mulligan to 5 to 4. Classic nothing. Could be Force of Vigor. Oh. I want to go for the turn 1. I think so. They do seem to be F6'd. Let's go. Hey. What's the matter, OP? Looking a little dead. That should be good enough. Ritual. I want to see. Oh, I wanted to see. Alright. Well, turn 1 action. We're 2-0. See you in round 3. Okay, here we are, round 3, and this hand is pretty good. Okay. It seems a little slow initially, but we should be able to fire off some powerful stuff pretty quickly. Oh, maybe sooner rather than later, huh? Now we can play Swamp. Wishclaw. Could have also played our Vault out so that we didn't have to play LED, and then we could have copied LED, and then we could have peered next turn. It's possible that was better. I still think we have a peer available if we want it. Take a peek. Fury, don't care. Goblin. Get out of here. Just don't draw tendrils. It's possible I wasn't even supposed to use the bauble, right? They really just have nothing? What's happening? Vault, 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 8, 9. Can we have a peer? No, we don't have enough mana up front. It's very close, but I think we just go for a big ol' Adnaz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 card in the graveyard away from Cabal Ritual. That's okay. Another LED. Use it. Activate. Cast it. First card LED. Pretty good. Oh boy. They're looking rather dead. Just need a tutor. There we go. Let's get them. See if we can see their hand. We can. 3 food chain. Wow. Okay then. Player spells. Play them all. Still 10 life, by the way. Still got these. Alright, game 2, Goblins. I think we can afford to cut some discard. Just play some removal. They play Chalice sometimes, so maybe I want Haywire Might. Let's try this. This Chalice on 1 would be a problem. Oh well. Okay. Sand is fine. I want to see turn 1 Lackey, pass. Full stop. That's it. It kept on 7. Immediate. Alright. I do like basic forest. Thought C's, okay. Food chain? Yep. We are probably in trouble. Best draw would be Haywire Might. Oop. That actually kind of hurts. Ooh, plus they get the mana. I always forget about that trick. Now they're gonna mux us. Okay. Ooh, that's game. Now they're just gonna keep running through their combo. Sling Gang. Alright, and they're just gonna keep sacking Squee. Alright, they got us. On to game 3. I don't think we need push. I think we literally just want max discard. So we can discard Chalice and Food Chain. Mull this one. It was definitely close. This is wild. So we bottom Saga. We go LED, LED, Opal, Dark Ritual, Cabal Therapy, naming Mindbreak Trap, Adnaz. Just a wildly powerful hand. It could get disrupted by Force of Vigor, or if they decide to Mindbreak Trap Dark Ritual, or Force of Vigor right now. It did not happen. They have Surgical, which we don't really care about. They had Chalice. Cool story, bro. Now they can hit LED. Yep. Storm count is super high. So we're going to have a land drop and one floating. Storm 7, they're at 18. Oh, I'm a doofus, we had lethal. So I could have just gotten Infernal Tutor, cast it, and then gotten Tendrils. I missed lethal, sorry. Sorry. I missed lethal, but it looks like I got lethal. It looks like I found lethal. I found it. Duress you because that Chalice is just insulting. And get him with 20 drills. It's another turn one. Alright, 3-0. See you in round 4. Alright, here we are in round 4, and this is a pretty good hand. I'm going to keep it. Opponent has mulligan 5. Soul Land, Dark Ritual. Or 1 mana shy of an Adnaz. 2 mana shy of discard into Adnaz. I'm sorry, 2 mana shy of an Adnaz. And 3 mana shy of discard into Adnaz. Alright, they're on Painter. Thoughtseize. So I can imprint the Thoughtseize and cast Thoughtseize. Or I can just bobble. I can do both, but then they can use Welder to swap my Chromox with bobble. Let's bobble. Pyroblast on top, which is fine. I mean, if they have Soul Land Painter, that will suck. But now we have a win, and we can Thoughtseize first. Grindstone is fine. They might swap my Chromox now with the trigger on the stack. It's okay though, we don't necessarily need that mana. Yeah, they did. Okay. No, thank you. 3, 4. So we can go Cabal Ritual. I think we just have lethal. Let's go Infernal Tutor. Copy. No, we don't, I'm sorry. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're 1 mana shy. We can add Nas from 20. Plenty of life to work with. We have a land drop. Okay. Natty Tendies. Could have a bolt, so I don't want to go any lower. Imprint Cabal Therapy. Cast Ritual. Ritual. See if we can get some more information. Ancient Tomb. Got him at the Tendies. Alright, game 2. Painter. So you want to bring in the removal. Because their welder is both an accelerant for them to kill us, sometimes much faster than we can kill them, especially considering their disruption, as well as, like we saw there, it fucks with our own stuff. It also effectively denies them a tutor when they use Goblin Engineer. I'm sorry, we also want Pithing Needle and Haywire Might. I don't mind some discard. 2, 4 Thoughtseize, 1 Duress is fine. So we do have to discard Mindbreak Trap sometimes. Sometimes we gotta fight through some Pyroblasts. Okay, shit. Tons of mana. 10 mana turn 1, but nothing else. So we will mulligan. Sand is considerably worse. Sand is gonna have to do. Put one of the LEDs back. The Opal. Petal Land Pass, interesting. Let's go Swamp. Bobble. Bobble them. Grindstone. Play another Bobble. I'll dress. This way if they fetch for some reason. Oh, they had a turn 2 Karn. Yeah, no thanks. No thank you. Grindstone, Crater Maker. Okay. No more Grindstone. Draw Wish Claw's pretty good. We're about to draw Mountain. That's good for us. Sure. Thoughtseize. Dark Ritual. Wow. All mana away. Did they rip a top deck? They hit us for 2. City, Grindstone. Okay. IT is pretty good. Oh, nothing natural. Let's Ritual. Let's Thoughtseize. They have enough cards. That could be our weight. Oh no, it was perfect information because they showed us Grindstone. Doi. Oops. Oops. I was thinking they had one unknown for some reason. Oh, we can use Cabal Ritual. We did not board it out, so you can leave Lion's Eye Diamond in the deck, which is important for, obviously, having zeros in your deck when you're ad-nausing, but also going Hellbent for Infernal Tutor. Let's go like this. Infernal Tutor will be card number 7. They should be grinding right now. Because if they hit ad nauseam, we're in trouble. Yeah, they did not. Now we definitely have enough cards. Alright, come on, deck, don't fail me now. Looking pretty good. Whoa. Alright, Chrome Mox. We gotta watch out for this Crater Maker. It doesn't really matter. Best thing they can do is target Chrome Mox, but then I still have enough. So we have 6 mana right here and Infernal Tutor. Sure. Imprint, Dark Ritual, play LED. Oh, and we have a land drop. So we had plenty to work with. We get the tendies, and we got them. Alright, that puts us at 4-0. See you in the final round trophy match. Okay, here we are in the final round. We are undefeated, and we opened up a turn 1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 9. A turn 1 Thoughtseize into ad naus with 2 mana floating. However, we are on the draw. Also, for what it's worth, oh, come on, man. Of course, trophy match, we draw the nut on the draw, and they get discard. I mean, it's IT. There's no 100% IT. Although they might have Reanimate, so I guess that could change. They have 2 discard. Kinda hard choice, they say. Alright. I'm gonna let them think it's a hard choice. Yep. Like Thoughtseize. Any tutor off the top gets there. Oh, really? I mean, I'm gonna Thoughtseize. It was just a monster, you know. Surprise. They don't really have anything anyways. So, we are favored. There it is. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 mana post ad naus. Generally speaking, very good matchup for us. We could just play Witchclaw Pass and then untap and peer. 3, 6, 7, 8, 7. We are 2 away if we get discarded, though. I'm gonna wait and just go for peer and put them on 1 draw. Of course they have Entomb. Why would they not have Entomb? No mana, no mana, no mana, no mana. Did we make it? Yep, we made it. Holy moly. And we drew LED. Let's get Burning Wish. Get Peer. Cast Peer. Cast all the stuff. Let's Thoughtseize. They had another Entomb. And we'll just kill him. Alright, game 2. Leyline, Helm, Peer, Haywire Might, Expedition Map. Adnos comes out. Burning Wish comes out. Cabal Rituals come out. Chrome Mox comes out. And some of the weaker discard comes out. Let's go. Nope. Yes, please. As we get rid of one of the Mox Opal. Wow, I almost did okay. I've done it. Alright, no turn 1 Serenity, and we'll be doing fine. Thoughtseize kind of annoying, but that's okay. I wanted that duress to be able to take Serenity. Alright. Come on, Thoughtseize bug. Oh wow. Alright. They have 3 cards. Wishclaw is not bad. Let's play Vault and pass. No Serenity. Thoughtseize, huh? I think this Thoughtseize could potentially be very important. Or even Left Adventurer. Wow, yeah. Would have been a strong one. Although honestly, Wishclaw would have wound up killing them. 3, 6, 5, 4, 1. Yeah, I guess so. He Thoughtseize, take Grief. I can play Wishclaw. Next turn we have a Helm. Unless they draw some sort of enchantment removal, we got them. Get LED, hit Petal, make black, activate, get Helm, play Helm, and get him. GG. Wow, my trophy. Yes, we did. We only lost 1 game. Does not bump us up in the trophy race, but that's okay. I've made quite the detour. Okay, so that was a super smooth league. There really weren't all that many spots where we just like drew terribly, or any like major spots where our opponent got super lucky. There were a few times where those things happened, but not in like extreme cases, and that's magic. That's gonna happen. But it's kind of a good example good example of what happens on average with this deck if you play it well. I don't think I really made. There were a few small mistakes that I kind of caught right away. I'm sure there's something that I didn't see that occurred, but for the most part, I think that was a good showing of what the deck does. We had plenty of matches where we just killed them with constructs. For the most part, we were killing with ad nauseam, which is primarily what we do, but sometimes you have leagues where you are mostly killing with Saga. We kind of showed how it's not just that we're a Saga deck, right? It's not just that we're a Saga deck that has disruption alongside it, right? With discard that can proactively disrupt the opponent's hand. Unlike Force of Will, which can be proactive, but you get a 2-for-1 yourself. You don't get as much information. We get to look at their hand and decide which way we want to go, and 1-for-1 discard that spell, right? It's not just that. It's not just that not only are we a good Saga deck and we have disruption alongside it, but also that we can do both of those things on turn 1 a lot of the times. Sometimes while deploying a Wishclaw. You like Chromox, Imprint, Saga, play Wishclaw, play Opal, discard. Just so many problematic things are occurring in that sequence, right? And not only that, and I think we saw in this league some, we can come up with multiple sagas very easily. Like I was saying earlier, and like I think came up at one point, you don't have to go Hellbent to do that. You can just copy one in your hand and double up on sagas. Post-board, we have access to map, which just gives us even more saga. Or you can wind up Hellbent and casting Tutor. If we wind up Hellbent and then we top deck Tutor, oftentimes it's just a saga. And lastly, I do want to mention just how all those things are true that I just said, but also just how many artifacts we do have. We tend to be able to spit out constructs in the earlier turns faster and harder, because we have things like Dark Ritual and Chromox, full playset of Petal and Opal, Lion's Eye Diamonds. These are things that allow you to go Saga into Saga and make constructs from both of them on both turns. Usually, like say 8 cast, you have to go Saga, Ancient Tomb, Saga, Ancient Tomb, right? It's every other. Generally. They can do more, but usually not. So we spit them out more explosively and faster. I would say after 3 or 4 turns, they really start rolling a deck like 8cast with the, side tokens and the turtle and thought monitor, and you know what I mean. They can get out of control a few turns later, but in the turn, 1 through 5, 1 through 6, we are a much more potent Saga deck. That, by the way, is just threatening an Adnaz or a Tendrils kill, like, that entire time, right? So we saw a lot of that. We saw a lot of just like, oh, I guess we have a turn 1 Adnaz with discard, or we have a turn 1 Adnaz, or we can discard and pass, or if we draw 1 mana, we have both. And then we even got to, in the final match there, play against Reanimator, and not only just get him with ley lines, but with Helm. We also get to Peer in that match. It's an example of why Peer is so sweet in this deck, because so much of our mana we can just deploy, and then we're so live off the top, thanks to the Singleton, Burning Wish, and the Peer. They double discarded us, and we still peered on turn 3, 4. All it took was a tutor, and we drew it. So yeah, I mean, that's about gonna wrap it up. I'll see you in the next, or I guess I should mention, I recently started a Patreon, which most of you already know. Currently, the content that is there is mostly the Epic Gamble, a recent sideboard guide, updated, alphabetized, ready to rock and roll. So if that's something you're interested in, then go ahead and join my Patreon. You get access to that. Of course, there's different tiers and whatnot, but I'm mentioning it here and now, especially because the very next project I'm currently even working on is the sideboard guide for this deck. It's taken a while because the deck had we were testing still, and not to say it is 100% right now, but this is a list I've been on for a few weeks now. I feel very confident with it. Dare I say it's stock? I'd say it's the closest thing to stock right now, and may very well be what it looks like for the foreseeable future. But yes, very soon, and I will, of course, make an announcement when it does. The sideboard guide for this deck will drop, and it will be extensive, just as the Epic Gamble one is, if you've seen my guide for that. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one.